are.
We are not live there. Are we live on YouTube? We are live on YouTube. All right. That's one. One for the money.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I swear, you ask one more time, I'll turn this show around.
But Dad, I wanted to go to Wally World.
Oh, what? Yeah.
I want to see Marty Booth.
We got 2 out of 3, so we're going for 3 out of 3. Here we go. Go live here.
What's going on with my internet? It's being slow tonight. Okay.
Me in general, I'm just being slow. Continue. Hold on, we got 2 out of 3 here, guys.
Work for Meatloaf.
All right.
Like I cannot even get. Okay.
You guys at home, hang tight. We are coming through. All right. For some reason, good friends over at.
I'm wondering if it's not crashing.
Let's hope not. Oh, I think we are 3 for 3, folks. Ta-da! Dun, dun, dun. 2 minutes. I'm getting better.
Woo!
Put you on the crew, on the
I'll time you next
crew.
time.
I'm the dummy.
Oh, can I do the noise? Can I do the noise?
Yeah, exactly. You're the guy sitting there with the tires ready to go. I'm the dummy who can't get the lug gun on the nuts. Everybody hates my guts. Okay. Well, welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday night. I don't know about you guys. It is an absolutely stunning night tonight here in central Pennsylvania. It's like 70 degrees. The sun's out. It's not raining. That's who you guys are. Loving it. How are things where you guys are?
It's been amazing. It's been amazing every morning. It's been like about 50s, 60s in the morning, 70s, 80s coming home. And since my AC is broken in my car, so we're good there, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, comfy low 60s in the morning, 78 now. Been nice and cool, breezy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain tonight, but
yeah,
I'll take a little rain.
Yeah, a little rain makes things grow. Awesome. All right. Hey, we got a couple comments popping in already. We got Robert. Hello, guys. I've been away, but I'm back, and I finally finished college. That's right. Robert graduated. Congratulations to Robert. Nice job.
Yay.
Yes, man with a plan. The question is, Robert, what's next in store for you, buddy? You got some jobs lined up? Let us know what's going on. I know he's into aviation. I don't know what his studies are focused on, but I do know he's into aviation. So let's see. That would be the hookup. Robert could fly over, pick us up.
There you go. They're bringing the Concorde back.
Yeah. I'm all about that. Very nice. Okay. Well, we also got Sonia on here. Good morning, Nate, Mike, and Janie from Tasmania, Australia. I was just talking to Sonia last night.
Good morning. Good morning.
She is super duper excited. She will be coming stateside in about a year or so. She is super excited. She's going to become a New Yorker girl, I believe. So
remember, don't make eye contact with anybody.
No.
Robert's saying I'm asking myself the same question. I'm not sure where I'm going. I'm going somewhere. Well, that's all that matters. Just don't sit still. Keep on moving. Right? That's the name of the game.
You will find it eventually. You will find your niche.
Yes, you will. Yes.
We all do.
Absolutely.
We
There we
all
go.
find our purpose.
Yeah.
All of us do. Yeah. So, all right. Well, with any further ado, now that I'm done stalling, because I finally figured everything out, like Clark Griswold with the damn
Oh,
extension
stop it.
cords.
Clark.
It's a Christmas miracle. All right. Without further ado, let's
Come on, Sparky.
Let's get this party started. Yeah, here we go. Oh, all right. All right, let's get this party started. So, first off, big announcement for us: 12,000 members, and actually, as of last night, it was 12,500 members. As of last night, when I was checking
What?
on,
Are you serious? Wow.
Today it's 12.
yeah,
Today it's 12,600.
no kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, it's really interesting because it's like we pick up, we get some people, it plateaus, and then it just takes off. That is unbelievable. The amount of people that have been joining. So thank you, you guys you guys that are constant members, you guys that are veterans. Thank you, you guys, new guys. Hopefully, we got some new people pop in. I did shoot a video up yesterday, trying to kind of maybe snag a couple there, fish up a few guys. So hopefully we can get some people on and hang out.
Hold that thought. You keep talking. Hold that thought.
Sure. All right. So yeah, and Mike, it's like every time we turn around, I'm seeing, you're welcoming someone, or or I'm welcoming, and it's never like 5 people. It's like 100 and some people, like every single time.
Yeah, I was doing. I had one the other day for 55 requests, and I went through. I approved them all. I put my phone down. I went in the kitchen, got something to eat, came back. I had 29 more. It was just, yeah.
I had to look because every time I see
awesome.
I see you welcome people. Like quick search to see. Wait a second, didn't I comment on that one? No, it was a different one. So look, yeah.
Okay.
Very cool stuff.
So on behalf of us and our brother, Keith, who hides from us, but anyway, he's here in spirit. You like us. You really like us. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Okay, that was really cheesy.
11,000.
Okay.
11,000. We didn't feel it, but this time we do feel it. That's right.
This time,
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. And speaking of whether it be members, whether it be times or celebrating milestones, how about the Daily Jaws? 9 years around.
Yeah.
Ross and the boys. So big one for those guys. Big one for those guys as well. Yeah, happy 9 years for you guys as well.
Awesome.
Yep.
And they just, for the curious, they just published my recipe for a holiday roast. So.
Yeah,
and I've got cool another couple pieces coming. I was asked to imagine Jaws 3 and 4 with Chief Brody and Jaws 2 with Hooper. And I just went way off the diving board with 3 and 4, but it was fun to write. So hopefully everyone appreciates the humor.
I'm gonna have to look into that because
I think I actually wrote 2 better films. So,
well, I appreciate that, Mike, and I love your writing skills, but that's not saying a lot either. So that's like saying I tied my shoes this morning before I left the house. Come on, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just me being a wise ass. So.
No, it was fun. I hope somebody reads it and goes, "Oh man, That's Jaws 5.
That's pretty good. There you go. That may be something.
Wasn't there at one time there were some prospective ideas floating around for a Jaws 5 script at one time years ago, and I remember one of them. It was like a wolf pack. It was like 4 or 5 sharks was one of them. That was I want to say starting to get some traction. Does that sound right? You guys ever hear about any of those?
No, but I mean, I remember in the early 2000s, Tracy Morgan said that he was working on a African American cast version of Jaws, and he was Hooper, Denzel was Brody, and Morgan Freeman was going to be Quint. And
nice.
And that got a lot of traction. People were like, oh, that'd be so good. But
Denzel, oh yeah, I think Denzel's.
Sorry, I would have picked Samuel L. Jackson for Quint. That would have been hilarious.
Oh, listen. The first time I was ever on this show, Mike and Jay brought me on, and that's what we were talking about. We talked about him as Mayor Vaughn, and we talked about him as Quint. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would just be. I would pay a lot of money to watch that. Even if you just did
4th of July, and them mother bleeping beaches are going to be open.
That's right. Go ahead.
I love it.
Say Stark again. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah. And he could play any role. Even Hooper. He could do a great Hooper. I mean, think about the twist he would put on Hooper. He wouldn't pull the whole no smoking in here, thank you. I mean, he would just start dropping F-bombs.
That motherfucker cigarette out. Or I stick this arm up your ass. Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, what kind of shark is it? I think it's a Mako. Hang on, Brad. The twist that he would put on it would just be absolutely crazy. Oh my gosh.
What kind of shark do you think it is?
That being said, they should have cut him loose. George Lucas should have gave him the chance to just ad-lib some of his own lines in Star Wars too, because we needed someone like that in Star Wars.
Oh my God, Mace Windu.
We needed a Jedi.
That's right, he did. He did. Got his purple lightsaber.
Yes, he did. Oh.
It's actually the initials are MF Windu.
Robert's a couple people commenting. We're going to get to the show topic tonight, I promise, guys. A couple people commenting here, and so says yes. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, I consider you all my beautiful, sweet friends, especially you guys from the US of A, accepting this amazing group. Very nice. Robert saying, you just can't have Samuel L. Jackson with MF unless it's a family film.
Then it won't be a family film then, honey.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Very good stuff.
So to get back on the topic, is this what we're talking about?
We are talking about that. Yes.
Ooh.
Look at this.
Yes. We are talking.
Look at this. Okay, so I'm going to brag. My 22-year-old niece, when she was, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12, had a project, and she made the cage scene from Jaws, and this is the orca that she made.
Oh, no.
Abigail
really?
did this.
That's
yes, and I have I'll put a picture up I'll put a picture up on the pages, but I mean, they did a really good job with it. She wanted it exactly how it was. Now, you cannot sit here and tell me that this boat in this film is not inspiring. Here's the proof.
That's pretty amazing. From a little kid yet?
That's the proof.
Yeah.
The fact that they know what it is,
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not hard. I've brainwashed her since she was 2.
Banned by attrition, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
she's planning on going with us next summer.
Oh, nice. Well, before we completely dive in, I am going to steal like another minute here or two, and that is I want to
Oh,
bring up a little bit of relevancy about one of our friends and someone who has been on the show with us before, and that is Ira Marks. So
I need to get that book.
yeah, and
I
he's
need that
got
book.
he's got two. He's got the third one has not been released yet. I think that's coming up on release. But you guys at home, Ira Marks, he does a lot of things. He's a bit of an educator. He is a comic. He
Mhm.
writes comics. He does graphic novels for kids, and he does a lot of clinics and a lot of free shows. Very nice guy, and he started. We started getting emails back and forth, Mike and I, from him a couple weeks ago. We did a show with him. I don't know. Was it fall, maybe late
I
summer?
think, yeah, but before the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, and out of the
It
blue,
was in the.
hey, hi, you guys, how you doing? That kind of stuff. I mean, just a great all around guy. And he's up for some awards. Mike, do you remember the exact name of the awards that he's up for? State of
It's
Massachusetts.
I can't remember what it was. It's Book of the Year, something in Massachusetts,
Yeah,
but which is good.
yeah,
I mean, it means he's getting recognition.
yes, yeah, very much so. And what's really cool is the fact that they're graphic novels, they're kids books, and you can actually get online. They now have a preview, and they let you preview about maybe like a dozen pages. And I pulled two of the pages up, and for those of you guys at home that don't know what it is, so it's based around a group of kids who I want to say are into more or less like filming and stuff like that, and they happen to be on Martha's Vineyard in 1974 during the filming of Jaws, and so it's their story based around what was happening there at the time. So it's kind of taking say a modern not situation but characters and planting them in specific places in time in different settings and really cool. And I threw two pages up there. One, you can see I'm walking right down, through Edgartown, whether it's Main or Water Street or whatever, and you can see the production screens there going as they're walking past, and the other one you can see them walking up through, and Chief Brody's cruising right by in the Chevy Blazer, so right past Kiesel's bike shop there. So really amazing stuff. If you guys have a chance, at least get on and check out the previews that are available on Google of this book. Really neat stuff. Yeah, and if you have kids, there you go, getting their foot in the door with it.
There you go.
Definitely something to look into. Yeah, very nice, very cool stuff. All right, so my apologies here, guys. We are so off track, a little bit more than normal because we had a couple things we wanted to touch on and count. But here we are. Tonight, the big story, we're talking about the Orca. That is our guest for the night. That is our topic for the evening. There you go. Janie's got her Orca. I just happened to bring mine. Well, I brought my part of the Orca. Brought my part of the Orca.
That's right. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's right. I have. I'll find it. Victor's trying to get on, so I'm trying to help him
Yeah, I'm not sure what's.
get on.
Tell him to hop on YouTube, maybe.
I didn't
What do you got
realize it
there,
I
was
Mike?
did.
showing.
So
That's right. You show me mine, and I'll show you yours. Yeah. Ah, there you go. You got the actual model of the Orca. Nice. Very nice, Mike.
excuse me. What? That's nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Is
That
that the
was
one?
a Christmas present a few years ago.
Yeah, I think I've seen that floating around Etsy. I think you might be able to still get your hands on this. Pretty cool. Well, I just recently got
Okay, there
something.
he is. Victor's here. There he is.
I just recently got something I want to share with you guys. Thanks to again the guys over at Daily Jaws. Check this guy
Oh, excuse you,
Nice.
sir.
Very nice.
There's such a comment I'm going to say, but I'm going to be good. Where where did you get that, sir?
So this was just advertised on the Daily Jaws as it was a pre-order. I don't know, like within like the last week. You guys didn't see it? Please tell me you saw it.
Yeah.
I want to say they're 3D printed, and I saw a pre-order, so I thought limited. And I don't jump on everything that gets made or produced, but I have a fascination with the yellow barrels, and so I got online and put an order in, and that sucker showed up today. Literally showed up today.
Wow, that is awesome looking.
Very cool.
Incredible. Very accurate.
Is it hollow or solid?
It definitely feels hollow, and it looks like it has that little kind of look to it, like it's 3D printed. But they went through and painted it. They went through and hit it with some sandpaper and scratched it up. They even tied the rope on it, to mimic the way that the rope was put on the actual barrels, and even down to the tops. I mean, it's extremely accurate. Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, very impressive. So.
That's cool. I like that.
Very cool stuff. Yeah. Excited to see that. Like I said, I don't jump on everything that comes through. I really don't. I kind of pick and choose. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, because that's one thing you don't see much of. Now there's a company doing productions up to like 1/3 or 1/2 the original size. The prices up there pretty good. It just hasn't been enough for me to make the jump.
That's a little big.
I think. Yeah, and I think the half size is north of like right around like $1,000, give or take. Although it looks amazing. I want to say they actually made a cast of one of the original barrels. I think that's what they're making them off of. You can get them in different scales. Not taking anything away from it, just it doesn't seem like enough for me to make the investment, but they are amazing looking. So yeah,
cool.
They're out there. They're out there. So very cool. So, all right, let's get ourselves back into the mix here. So tonight we are talking about the Orca and the interesting history with the Orca. Obviously, it didn't start out as the Orca. It started out as our good friend here, the Warlock.
No, it did not.
So it did. What do you mean?
Yep.
Did you say it did not? Huh?
No.
What?
No, I said no. I said it was not the Orca. I'm agreeing with you. It was the Warlock first.
I just
Splitting hairs.
Uh-oh.
Kiss my boat. Okay?
She's taking a road rage out on me tonight, Mike.
Yeah.
Kiss my buoy. All right? There. All right.
You can't spell.
I'm agreeing with you.
Spell Warlock
always
without
the
Orca.
Orca.
Right?
Okay.
Remember, you can't spell Warlock without Orca. So
This is true. This is true.
Okay. Moving
Who wants
on
to throw
now,
some
sir.
facts up? Yes. Who wants to throw some facts up about the Warlock? Go ahead, jump in. I don't, because I might get punched. I'm just going to sit back and be quiet. And if Janie can't reach her and punch me, my wife will do it because she knows I deserve it anyway. So either way,
That's why I love your wife.
eat my Cheerios. So
do it off camera, so we don't have to testify.
That's right. Yeah, right.
So how much did that boat cost, Mike, when they bought it?
Wasn't a lot because it was just kind of sitting around.
Yeah.
I know they just use it, and they basically use it for for the idea of what they wanted. They ended up, this is what we'll use, and this is what we'll refurbish. And I know afterwards, after filming, somebody bought the Orca, I want to say for $5,000.
It was like $5,000 or $6,000.
They sailed it around California for a few months until the movie came out, and Universal realized what they'd given away, and they bought it back. And then they let it die.
I tried to find out if this thing was even a working boat or if it was bought fairly new, and I couldn't really nail it down because it was a lobster trawler. And once you've seen a couple lobster trawlers, you go, oh my gosh, they all look like this.
That is correct, sir.
To a T, and I know, obviously they pretty much, from what I remember with Marty Milner, they pretty much took it off at the top of the deck and replaced everything.
Yeah.
for filming, but you can look at it and you can see how much of it is still there. Windows are smaller, which makes sense. But I found some conflicting information. Some people said it was a Nova Scotia lobster trawler. Some people said it was, it was made here stateside and was never actually put into service. And they knew that because, they were probably went and picked it up, and they know the type of wood that the hull was made out of. So I don't know if that's entirely true or not, or not, but at least that's the general origins of it. Yeah, it was bought for somewhere like around like $5,000 or $6,000 after the filming. I don't know what it was purchased for originally,
No.
prior to that, but yeah, and it was a good looking boat. I mean, it really was. And if you look at it, it doesn't look like it was used too heavy or too hard because you ever see a working
Yeah.
boat and they're not super nice and shiny and have a fresh coat of paint. I mean, they're war horses. They're worn down, they're beat up, and it's like I equate garages. If you ever walk into a garage, a working garage, and the floors are beautifully painted and everything is spit shine clean and everyone's wearing clean uniforms and in a good mood, that's not a shop that makes money. You walk into shops where there's a pile of parts in the corner and, the guy's got 3 years worth of grease on his hands and
His nails, yeah.
That's like when I saw the
Yeah.
Jaws van a couple weeks ago, and it was, plastic everywhere, and they had the little things because the room smelled like thinner, and dust on the floor, and this 48 Cadillac and the next sign next to it. Yeah, that was a real garage.
Yeah, and that's every working shop I've been in. That's what they all look like. Yeah. Yeah, and so there she is. So making the basic transformation over to the Orca. There's a shot that Marty, was telling us about, and as soon as they finished up with the Orca there, and that's in the boathouse over on the island, that's when they started making fiberglass mold for the Orca too. He said, never forget he took motor oil and painted down the hull with motor oil, so use it as a release agent, so the fiberglass wouldn't stick to it. Yeah. What a great story! And I got to say, I love the picture on the right, and it's the Orca sitting there right at one of the docks. And if you look, you can tell that that's a period correct picture because you see Joe and all those guys, and they've got the big wide collars on, and you can see that they're gearing up and getting ready. It almost looks like Joe's kind of like showcasing, "Hey, here's the boat. Here's what it's going to look like. It's all new and nice, ready to go." Yeah, very cool stuff. Even down to the little.
Is that Carl?
I don't know if that's
Carl there at the end. Kind of.
I don't know if that.
It favors them.
In the white,
but it looks like them.
Let me go full here. Let me go full screen here.
Oh, the Let's Talk Jaws logo is blocking it.
Hold on, I can do something about that.
No, it's not.
I don't know if that's Carl or not.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It looked like him, but I don't think it is then. But I'm digging those bell bottoms, Joe.
Oh, yeah. Joe's looking like young and
never
spry.
Got a child, my friend.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, and the daring guys that worked on the boat. So you guys have all seen the pictures, and we've all seen the pictures of all the crew. Like they must have like 20, 30 people on there, on that boat at one time. But the poor suckers sitting on that piece of plywood hanging off the side in the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, really? That's a sheet of plywood on 2 2x4s. Yeah, and you're shooting a shark movie. The answer would be no. I'm not sitting there. It's going to ruin the shot. Oh well, the shot's going to suck. I'm not sitting on a piece of 1/2-inch plywood hanging over the ocean. It's not going to
living the dream, though. Living the dream, making a movie.
Yeah, what that boils down to is those guys have way more guts than I do. That's what that boils down to.
I'm not drunk enough to sit on that plywood. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you can. Okay, there you go.
Want a pretzel? Probably what it could down to. Bribery. Yeah. What if I give you Narragansett? Will you sit? Okay, I'll sit on it. At any rate, yeah. So Yeah, Mike. So you had said that that after the movie was shot, that it was sold off, and maybe you guys know, and I don't know. I want to say the person who bought the Orca, he worked on it on the set, did he not? Is that correct? Am I right by
I
saying that?
think so. I can never remember his last name. Gage, that has the Jaws podcast. Um,
Hmm.
he he was telling me the story, and he sent me some pictures of the boat after they took it back to California, and they were just zooming up and down the coast. It was just
Yeah,
to them, it was just a boat.
yeah, yeah. And those are shots. So when he first pulled it out of the water, he said the hull was in bad shape. I had read an old interview. And so he went
Mm.
back and he redid the hull. That's why you're seeing the hull there. And that's black and white pictures. Essentially, right there is in white because they hadn't gone through and painted it yet. The top coat. I'm guessing it's like a primer or a sealer there, but it was getting. Um, they were pulling it out of the water and getting ready to ship it out to the Pacific there. Yeah. And then once it was in and being used, there you go. So there you had the gentleman, and you can even see up top there. Maybe I'll kind of pull this out once again so we can kind of get a little close up on this guy here. You can
That
actually
is
see
hilarious.
if you're looking up at him on the flying bridge there. You can see that when he redid the top there, where the wheel is, it's all natural wood. So I'm assuming he took off all the old paint and everything. And the picture below, he's sitting there. It's the '70s, so while he's painting urethane on the back of that boat without a respirator, he's smoking a Marlboro too because hey, none of that stuff's gonna hurt you, right? So yeah.
Good, good times. Good times.
Yes, yes, but that's the way we all thought back then. So it's yeah, incredible stuff. Yeah, awesome. And it was one of the cruises. It was him and his wife or his girlfriend, and they had another couple found the boat, and there the two girls are kind of hanging out sunbathing on the boat on one of the many trips. And I want to say it went further than just to the Pacific. I did some other trips as well. I have to go back and do a little research here. And there it's on the right. It's you're looking at a bird's eye view, passing under one of the bridges. I don't know which bridge it is. It's not the Golden Gate. It's not the right color, so I don't know. I'm not sure which bridge it's going under. So, but it's definitely not like the Sagamore or any of those bridges over here. Going through like Cape Cod or anything. But yeah, so it had an interesting life, and yeah, Universal then desperately bought the boat back, and he made a lot of money. He made a good amount of money, I should say, selling it back to Universal. You know, the shame of it was that they spent all that money and then they let it sit and kind of rot. Over
Yeah.
Sit and
Yeah.
rot for however many years. It was sad.
yeah,
That's where Spielberg used to go there and sit in the wheelhouse and kind of reminisce. And then one day it was gone.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and if you look at pictures of it, of various pictures through the years, whether it was showing up in, say, some of the other TV shows on the lot, you'd see in the background, or just pictures that people were taking, you could see it. It was going lower and lower in the water. You could see just dying a slow death, and yeah, not a good one either. But um, speaking of sinking, I have part of a clip here from Roy Scheider, which I think is a great clip. And you have to listen a little closely. I'll bump the volume up. So he was actually laying down the voice tracks for The Shark Is Still Working. And in the middle of going through one of the tracks with a narration, he stops in the middle of it and he starts to tell a story about the Orca, actually, but probably the Orca 2, of when it was sinking. And I just kind of caught my eye. I thought it'd be something interesting to show. So I want to share this with you guys here. Let me pull this guy up.
Was designed to sink and re-emerge on command has remained on the Vineyard.
One more for safety? Yeah.
I got to tell you, the day, in the film, when you see the boat sinking down, the first and only shot of that boat.
What happened there? Let's try that again. Oh, you're kidding me.
Like the book.
Oh no, come on. Technical problems here.
No.
Let's try it again. All right, I'm gonna remove it. Tell you what, I got another one here. I'm gonna pop up real quick here.
The movie was filmed entirely at sea. There were no tank shots, no miniature boats.
Reload the other one.
A barge acted as mothership, and on windy days, of which there were dozens, it pitched and rolled.
That's some good 70s background music.
It really is, and that clip's been floating around a lot lately. It showed up on ours. Ross used that. I want to say last week. If you guys get a chance at home, get on and search, and you'll find. I think it's still on YouTube. It's called New England Our Way. It was a 1974 documentary based around Cape Cod and New England, but it's a lot of the a lot of the interviews that you have seen floating around the internet come from that show. So really cool thing. All right, I am going to try and reload or click. While I'm doing that, I'm going to bring up our next slide here. And since we were talking there about the Orca 2, it would be remiss to not at least hit on and talk a little bit about the Orca 2 here. So you guys can kind of want to jump in. I'm going to try and pull this other clip up if you don't mind. I'm going to kind of duck out of here for a second. Is that all right?
Now that's a piece of the Orca I do have. When we ordered, the books that Matt and Jim did, and if you ordered it in time, you got a little 1 by square inch of the Orca that was left that was there on the island. That's the piece of Orca I've got. I've got number 2.
Yeah,
but I've never.
I've got a. Lynn Murphy gave me a 2 by 3 foot piece, and I had it cut in half and gave half to Matt. But yeah, it was just we were at the boatyard. Oh. We were at the boatyard at his house, and we got to hold the controls for the shark. It was just a joystick, left, right, front, back. And we were outside, and that's where I found the fascinating rhythm. And then we were outside talking, and he went into the barn, and then we hear this, and what's going on? And he came out, and he gave each of us a piece of the Orca 2, because he had brought it back to the boatyard a while ago, because it had been out on a sandbar somewhere, and people kept finding it and stealing stuff from it. So he finally brought it back home.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I don't know what I would probably crack up if I heard that. What are you doing? What? No, no. And then I feel guilty. No, don't know. So I'm not good on gifts. I'm not. But that's cool. That's flipping cool. But didn't they have, whenever there was what they call, I guess, they're like balloons or airbags underneath the Orca too?
They had barrels that they could pump air into, and then let it out so it could sink.
Right, so it can watch it sink and then bring it back up again for another take. So I'm very proud to say that I own that. It's kind of cool when I tell people, I have a piece of the Orca 2, and they're like, no, you don't. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's right here.
Thank you, Lynn and Susan. Because they were very generous in doing that at that time. So, what else can we talk about with the Orca 2? I mean, the story about Ted Grossman in the cab when he was in the cabin with Scheider.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they were just right when Bruce breaks in, and he wanted to make sure that there was an escape route. He says he was standing there just looking, and Ted made sure that, because he was a stunt person, right, to make sure everybody was safe on the set.
Yeah, that was his job, and to see, because if it was deemed too dangerous, then he would do it.
Then he would do it, and so he was ready to take place for Roy, but Roy went on ahead and did it anyway, did he not?
Yeah. In fact, I have it, and I got it because I used to answer Roy's mail, and for whatever reason, they sent it to his publicist, and she sent it to me, and he said I could keep it. It was an honorary membership card to the Stuntman's Union because of
Really?
what he had done on Jaws. I mean, that part where they're trying to pull up the cage and that winch slams down, that's him.
Yes.
And that was heavy. That was,
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The more you know. So
Honorary,
basically they made him
honorary
an
stuntman.
honorary stunt person. Look at that.
And then
so he was basically an honorary fall guy.
Yeah, there you go. And this picture just reminds me of the story that I know Roy has told it, and Richard tells it, that they're filming and the boat starts sinking and it's not supposed to sink. And the sound guys, John Carter and them are going, get the sound crew off the boat, And Spielberg says, bleep the sound crew, save the actors.
Actors, exactly. Yeah. And you can see on the picture, the bigger picture, you can see a cameraman in the back with the boat tilting, getting a really good shot. That makes me wonder what that is. Is that of Roy maybe sliding down? Maybe
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Quint point of view sliding down.
Right. He's sliding down and they try to grab each other to where he's trying to make sure he's not. So maybe maybe I picked out a shot. But look at the crew back there. They're just tagging along. Look at that. One cameraman and everybody else is in the back.
Well, it's a union job. I mean, they had to have they brought out everybody from California, but then the union told them, the Teamsters said, well, if you're going to work in Massachusetts, you've got to have somebody for each position from our Boston local of IATSE. So, yeah, more than enough people on set.
And I like how they have it up there, kind of, I don't want to say it's kind of parked half-ass in order to get that shot. It kind of looks like my driving going into work every day. That's how it looks. So, how you doing, Nate? Oh, your mic's not on, honey. It's off.
Hello, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're having a technical issue with the clip for some reason. I'm trying to salvage the clip, and it is not allowing me. It really bums me. It's a really good clip. So, long story short, so you could hear Roy. Roy was simply doing some of the commentary in their little sound studio there, and he stops and he starts telling the story about when the ship was going down and when it was sinking. And he said Ted Grossman, who became his really good friend in the shot during the movie, he said walked into the cabin of the Orca and started putting objects all the way around. He said he put anything he could imagine that he could use, and he said, well, Ted, what are you doing? And he said, well, I don't know how fast it's going to sink, and I don't know if you're going to be able to get out of here. So I'm putting tools around that you can bust your way out in case something ever happens. So that was his, there was no practice. It was, they were rolling films and they were sinking the boat, and he had to try and get out the window with a rifle, and so it was just a really candid story, because he stops in the middle and he said, I looked at Ted and said, oh, how is this going to go? And he said, if you watching that film, he said, I got my ass out of there really fast because I didn't know what was going to happen. So it's,
if you look at that, I'm moving.
Yeah, And so it's not like, it's not like he rehearsed that he had to look concerned. That was his genuine reaction to what was going on with the Z, Yeah.
He's looking all around that cabin. That's what we were saying when you were off air, that about Ted Grossman, watching out for him to make sure he could get out of there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But
a while ago, I want to say the Daily Jaws did a piece. If you freeze frame it just right, they deduce that the picture of the shark in Jaws 2 that they show, and it's seaweed with the eye, that is actually that is actually a frame from Jaws, and they matched it up. They matched it up perfectly. So,
Really?
yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That was so they literally just, I would assume they had to blow it up at some point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. I'm still learning stuff here. Mike's facts. Man. Wow. I had no
So
idea
they
there.
recycled it. That's pretty cool.
Wow. I would assume it's not the only thing that they went through and they recycled then either. Yeah.
No, probably
Yeah,
not.
that'd be an interesting dive to kind of see what made its way from the original film into some of the other films, because chances are maybe some of those other films ended up in there too. Yeah. So yeah. Here's one of the shots. We talked about the number of guys that were, at any given time on one of these, working with the Orca in the boat, and they said that it was so laden down with weight that it was not very seaworthy. It didn't ride very well on the water. And I'm sure it was, every boat. If you've ever owned any boats, and Mike, you were in the Navy,
Yeah.
I believe, isn't that right? Navy or Army or?
Army.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Dude.
Sorry. That's a bad thing to say. I apologize.
You just call me a squid?
Well, I'm
a squid?
Oh, I did. That's strike two for me tonight. First was Jamie, now you, Mike. So I'm batting 1,000 here tonight.
Wow.
no, my family was in the Navy, so you were
Okay.
half right. Okay, there you go.
Okay. But any boat, if you've ever owned a boat, it always has a weight capacity on it. And I'm
Correct.
sure that boat was over its capacity, probably the majority of the time, And if
Well,
you
look
guys
at
have ever
this guy.
seen,
Look at this guy, like at the very left-hand corner. He is stretched out. He's like, I'm done.
You're getting a
I'm done
10.
with this already.
Yeah, it's probably the Boston.
Yeah.
That's the Boston guy going, let the California guy take care of it. Look at the tan.
he's in the union. Yeah. Right. And I'm sure you guys have seen the shot of the shot. I want to say someone's either up from the flying bridge or maybe up in the crow's nest down. All the guys that are on the boat, and they're shooting a shot, and just what you're talking about, there, like 4 guys are like laying on their back, like taking a nap.
Yeah.
I mean, the boat is just. It looks like you couldn't take 2 steps without stepping on somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. Yeah.
And I assume they all have something to do when they call action, but a lot of movie makings hurry up and wait. So
it's like watching your nothing to take away from road construction crews, but you've got the one guy with the sign, right?
Yep.
Flips the sign around, works
Yeah.
the TV. You got the guy next to him.
Yep.
His job is to make sure the pack of Marlboro rolled up really good in the shoulder, shoulder sleeve, right?
Gotta look good.
And put your foot on the water bottle, right? And then you have the one guy who's in there with a shovel, busting his butt to do whatever, dig out or fill a hole. And then you got the 2 guys making sure he's doing a good job. So
Supervisor. Or foreman. They call him foreman.
middle management. Yeah. Again, I'm not taking anything away from anyone's job, but yeah, you kind of see the delineation there. Interesting. So hey, we have some comments here, guys. I'm sorry, I'm literally getting comments on 3 different pages here. Victor, it says, Mike, I'm sure you did a better job with Jaws 3 and Jaws: The Revenge than the original scripts. With
Victor, I think you'll like how I ended Jaws: The Revenge. So
yeah. We got more games chiming in.
Both were written very tongue in cheek. I brought some much needed humor to the saga. The Jaws 2 with the Hooper character was a little more actual, like a real movie. Like, okay, this would work. I do this, I do that. But Jaws 3 and Jaws: The Revenge, I was just having fun with. So
nothing wrong with
I
that.
do incorporate a little Blue Thunder in the Jaws: The Revenge. So
Ooh, wow.
Nice.
after battling the shark because Brody goes out by himself. After battling the shark for hours, he finally gets it to the boat, and they lock eyes. And then Brody cuts the line, and he goes, "Catch you later."
Wow, that's nice.
Wow.
I thought you were going to tell me Bruce did a damn somersault in the air.
So he went over his back. It's aerodynamically impossible. Yes.
He came down behind him and he got Brody in the boat. Right. Element of surprise. That's right. Yeah. Did it once in Vietnam, you know? Unbelievable. Yeah. We got a couple more comments in here. We got Matt chiming in, says, I hope Bruce got a percentage of that, Mike. So
I hope so. I'd share my royalty.
Yeah, royalty.
Nope, Paul's on. I'm going back to some of the comments.
Yeah,
I am too. Guys at home, I'm sorry. I've got comments popping in from 3 sections, so my fault. I'm having some technical issues tonight, and I've kind of been ignoring comments, so I apologize. I'm trying to sweep a couple in. Matt's also saying, I love the stills with 1 million people hanging around the scenes that we recognize. Yeah. And that's so many shots that you see. Just 1 million people all over the place, you know? Yeah. Donna says, I wonder how many life vests are on the boat. Are you kidding me? I don't even think they were wearing shirts, let alone life vests.
Victor said the Warlock reminded him of the SS Minnow on Gilligan's Island.
You know what?
Nice.
It kind of does. That opening scene, and Gilligan's up in the bridge. Yeah.
Matt chimed in and said, Bruce swims up to Michael singing "Just the Two of Us" Two of Us by the Beatles.
You and I have memories. Yes. Paul said someone brought a piece of the Orca to the Cabot Theater for Dreyfus to see. I got
put a picture of that
page, yes. And you shared it on our pages too.
Yeah, I saw that, Paul, and it was a pretty sizable, and you could see it had like wormholes and stuff in it, so it wasn't fiberglass from the Orca too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd like to hear the story about how that surfaced. You know?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Somebody who was in there putting in the dirty work with the chainsaws and everything must have had enough of an inkling to hold on to some of that. You know? Yeah.
Can't keep up with these comments.
Definitely.
That's good.
I know we got a bunch in, so I am trying to kind of follow up on them here.
Since there's 3 of us, maybe it'd be a good idea that one follows one page, one follows the other, and one follows YouTube.
Well, I think I got Facebook.
There you go. So
I got YouTube here, and I'm kind of bouncing back and forth here. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, divide and conquer.
Speaking of the Orca, kind of getting chopped up, I have seen, if this video works, for God's sakes, because the other 2 failed miserably tonight. Famous scene, but still, every time I hear Mr. Spielberg, recalling when he found out that the Orca was no more, his reaction, because everything you've ever seen from him is he's very laid back and very mild-mannered. So it's almost hard for me to envision him really going off on someone. But we're gonna bring the clip up here anyway. And if this dies in the middle, guys, I apologize. Here we go.
Of the back lot. I said, "What happened to the Orca?" He said, "Well, it was just rotting there, so we took an axe and took a couple of chainsaws and we cut it up for timber and we shipped it out." And I went nuts. I feel very bad about all the things I said to that poor man who took my phone call. As for the
Yeah. And they cut out where he says, and then I had him fired.
Yeah. Yeah. Could only imagine for a few seconds.
But doesn't Spielberg have the helm? He has the wheel.
He's got the big wheel and the propeller screws, I think.
Thought he said he had the screw, yeah.
I think
so.
Those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So he has at
who's the
least something.
collector? Who's the collector? I know, I've seen pictures of you in it. I've seen a couple other people in it. Who has the chair, the channel marker, all those? I mean,
Sure.
who's the collector?
Pete Spidetti has the chair, the rod, the
Spidetti.
reel, and the toe fin, and Eric Hollander has the buoy that Chrissy hangs on, and
Okay,
that's his. He decorates. That's his Christmas tree every year.
That's the Christmas
that's
tree.
pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Wow, wow. And there's a couple of real famous musicians that have some of the original barrels. One of them is a huge Jaws nut. He's the drummer for the band Anthrax. Huge Jaws nut. He has one of the
Yeah.
original screen used barrels, the real deal. And then someone who he's friends with, he's like a death metal bassist or something like that. He has all kinds of stuff, props. I want to say he has a greener gun because I read that there was two. There's a discrepancy as to which one was used on set, which one wasn't.
Is that the harpoon gun?
Harpoon? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Renee Ben David's dad's.
Dad, yeah.
Yeah, and I've held it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one that, as far as I know, is screen used. I know Chris Kiska also has one. So
okay. Yeah. But yeah, these guys have bits and pieces, and I want to say one of them had. I can't remember if it was one on the porthole, like a porthole or something like that. It was something from probably the Orca 2, for all I know. That thing was scavenged by anyone who came along it, though. You know, it was another thing, kind of like the Orca. Every time you saw a picture of the Orca 2 sitting on Murphy's land, there was like more pieces off of it.
I know, it's like,
I mean,
just a frame.
Yeah.
Just a frame.
The door's missing, the porthole's missing, the window's missing. Then the mast is off of it. And I'm trying to think. Somebody had to think, how cool would it be to have that mast like concreted in your backyard somewhere?
Yeah, like as your flagpole. Yeah.
Yeah. Have your kids out playing on that sucker, you know? Yeah. We got a couple more comments coming in here. It says, what do we have here? Donna's chiming in. It says, I have some wood from the railing and some fiberglass from the Orca 2. Wow. So Donna has some pieces. Sounds like from the first one and the second one there. Very nice, Donna. And then Matt says, railing, don't forget your good buddy Matt. So apparently Matt went in on the action. And then Donna says, I also have some of the log cabin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Spielberg's cabin.
Donna gave me a piece of the cabin for my wedding gift.
Both of you guys have a piece of the cabin, don't you? Mike, I think I believe I saw yours before too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I saw both of you guys have brought them on before. Yeah. And then Paul said, Chris Ziska has the majority of the stuff his dad worked on the film. Charlie Benante, that's the guy from Anthrax. That's what I was talking about, who has like one.
That's a Paul fact. I never would have known the name of the drummer for the Anthrax.
Yeah, yep. Paul's a bit of a metalhead. I see a lot of the shows that he goes to. I grew up on quite a bit of that myself, so that's how I know it was a drummer from Anthrax. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, who's currently drumming for Pantera right now, as far as I know. Yeah, good stuff. Right. Yeah, so obviously the Orca's gone. Nothing's around anymore. The Orca 2 is gone. The only thing is left is the remnants of these guys that are floating around like this. However, something I said in my little video last night that I popped out there is I always consider the Orca to be the fifth Beatle, like literally one of the 5 main characters in the movie. If you want to get down and serious, you know.
Yeah.
3 being the most obvious. Bruce is definitely one, and the Orca. I consider the Orca to be one of the main characters. If you look at the Orca parallels Quint all through the movie. Almost from, you know, you don't see the Orca in the first scene with Quint. You see the Orca in the second scene with Quint. You know, he's sitting on cruising by Eggetown Lighthouse, And from there on in, the only time you see Quint, you also see the Orca. Down to the demise of Quint is also the demise of the Orca.
No.
And so it takes on such its own character. If you think about the scene where they're chasing down the Bruce, when they have a barrel in him and chasing them down, one of the only times that Roy Scheider smiles in the entire movie is he's hanging off the back, and he just has this great smile on his face. He's just caught up in the adventure of the Orca, probably doing 15 knots, just flying through the water, trying to run down the barrel. It's just, I don't know. For me, it was just always a character, and because of that relevancy, you're still seeing every possible example of it floating around to this day. I mean, perfect example is everything we're talking about. You guys have pieces of the Orca. This guy just came out. I pulled a couple of pictures from things that you can get off online, whether it's on Etsy, whether it's on marketed through Universal model kits, the little German model kit down at the bottom, the only model kit that is currently out right now. There's a T-shirt, the Orca T-shirt. It's maroon, and it says Orca. That's it. There's no jaws, no nothing, just Orca. The letters that make up the background to this visual right here, you can actually get on and buy the production letters, copies of the production letters, which didn't follow any script. They were just hand drawn. Someone just drew up their own font for that. You can get online and actually buy and download the Orca font. They made the entire alphabet. I mean, it's just amazing.
That's cool.
So it has as much relevancy as all the characters. Yeah. Even all the talk about the shark is working. What is the setting in the shark is working? Well, the only setting that you see is a cutaway of the Orca. That's it. I mean, the only thing in the background you get a little bit with there's a little bit of weather that's digitally shot behind it, but it is the cutaway of the Orca, and was built painfully to scale to the original Orca. The man who did the set design, he said, was like all brass tacks when it came down to keeping it to the original. So what you're seeing there is very close to what the original was. And the cool thing is as a little gift to Ian Shaw, and I don't know who did it, somebody took and put a production used barrel up in the forward storage of the Orca for them to have on set.
Oh, cool.
Really cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
And I didn't read about it till after I went and saw the show, and I was like, "You're kidding me!" I was staring at one the whole time and never realized. Yeah, really cool stuff. Yeah. We got a couple.
I want to say it's probably one of the most famous vessels in movie history, if not in movie and TV.
It's got to be. Like, what else? What would you think would even come close?
I mean, everybody knows what the Titanic looked like.
Sure.
Yeah, Titanic. I was thinking about this last night. Titanic.
Yeah.
But it was, but as far as movie history and TV, it could be real. Absolutely. Well, this was a real boat, but the Titanic, the Love Boat. I thought about that one. Everybody knew about the Princess Cruises.
Okay.
Somebody brought up the USS Minnow.
Yeah.
So that would be
SS Poseidon.
SS Poseidon.
The Poseidon. I thought about the Poseidon Adventure and the Orca. So those were my top 5.
Richard Dreyfuss connection. He was in the remake of the Poseidon.
That's right. He was. So he's on 2 of them.
Yeah. Him and Kurt Russell. Yeah.
I forgot about Kurt. Yeah.
What was the name? What was the name of the boat from Moby Dick? The original story was based off of the Essex, which was an actual ship. But do you guys remember the name of the actual story?
The Pequod.
But you know me with.
Yes.
It's the Pequod.
Pequod.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's ridiculous. I should know that because the place I stayed at in Oak Bluffs 3 times was the Pequod. Wow.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please. No. Should I answer any form of a question?
Yes.
The Pequod. But yeah, I mean, it is one of the most famous ships in film history. If not, I consider it to be the most. I mean, people that don't know the movie all that well know the ship. just like they know Quint. I mean, really, just like they know Brody, just like they know who.
Yeah.
They really do. Someone could tell you that. I have, I mean,
Oh,
I have
the
a
black.
tattoo.
Oh, the Black Pearl and the Flying Dutchman.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a little more modern history, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Those are very popular too. But I still put the Orca above that as far as
What
notoriety.
happened?
The Bounty. Ah.
Oh, yeah. Mutiny on the Bounty. That's
Because
a real
when
historical ship.
in St. Petersburg, and I don't know if it's still there, but for like 40 years, the boat they used in the Marlon Brando remake was tied up right by the pier in St. Pete. It was a tourist attraction.
Oh, really?
You go walk on the Bounty, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow. But yeah, and there's been a couple attempts at
Oh,
people
the Bounty. Yeah.
trying to remake an Orca. Nothing has come to fruition. There is a restaurant, and I searched for the picture, and to be honest with you, it came down to a time thing. There's a restaurant in Rhode Island. It's like a pub, I guess. And in the middle of it, the floor is epoxy painted like water, and it is a scaled down Orca, and that's the bar. And you can go sit at the bar, and it's the Orca
Oh, that'd be cool.
in the restaurant. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it just relevancy is out there, and someone just posted. I just commented on it.
There's like
2 nights ago.
like one of those, what they call them, the pop-up bars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Because I'm having internet crap going on.
I'm getting you, and then I'm kind of like getting pieces of you, and then it kind of like almost.
You
like
can't.
stops
Okay.
Like a little
Donna
there, so.
Donna mentioned the
Yeah,
Mayflower.
my internet sucks. People are just, well, the Mayflower,
which I believe her family came over on. So, yeah, Don is like a real descendant.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. She can trace her family back to that. Wow.
Yeah.
And the Mayflower, I think the Mayflower 2 just made its way through the Cape Cod Canal within the last month or two, I want to say. Because, that stays obviously.
Take a shortcut. It's 400 years late.
The one fact I always will bring up sometimes if I'm around some friends is one of the reasons that they stopped is because they had to stop to brew beer. And I went,
And priorities.
Priorities, right?
The priorities.
Actually, from a historical standpoint, it was one of the only safe things to drink. They didn't know exactly why. It was because it was pasteurized. And so it was one of the few safe things they could drink. So many of the water sources were so polluted at the time. So they would drink beer. And even the children, they would take the wort and the things that were left over and they would rebrew. And it was called small beer. It had little to no alcohol in it, but it was safe for the kids to drink. So that's,
Matt mentioned the Nautilus.
Did he? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he says, since you guys mentioned it, I'll say that the movie Poseidon was a very good remake of the more superior Poseidon Adventure. Also, what about the Nautilus? Yeah. And Mark said, Ghostbusters quote, well, better late than never. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a random Mike's fact about the minnow in Gilligan's Island. If you watch Gilligan's Island, you'll notice that when the minnow leaves Hawaii, that all the flags are at half mast in the harbor. And that's because they filmed that on November 22nd, 1963.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out. Wow. I did not know that. Wow. That's a big Mike fact right there. Wow. So.
And I always wondered how the professor was so brilliant. He could build a nuclear reactor out of a coconut, but he couldn't fix a hole in a boat. So.
He built everything out of coconuts.
Yeah.
He had a radio made out of coconuts. Yeah. Don't worry, Janie, you back with us?
I don't know what's going on, but I've been having internet connection issues since I got home. So I got to do it on my phone.
No big deal.
I got
No big deal. We're all together, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that kind of sets it up and wraps it up what we have regarding the Orca tonight. But as we hit the hour here, there is one more thing we wanted to kind of bring up and run and kind of share with everyone real quick, and that has to do with a little contest that we have going on right now. Is that right, Mike?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, you have till midnight tomorrow. Post your favorite piece of, not to be your favorite, but just don't throw up a keychain. Post a favorite piece of Jaws memorabilia, be it a poster or a piece of the Orca 2 and you could win some cool swag courtesy of the Massachusetts State Lottery.
Woohoo!
Absolutely.
And I tell you, I reached out to the guy that does Christian's job at the Hoosier Lottery.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Yeah, it's just nobody really cares about Jaws. Just a way to sell tickets." You bastard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was his attitude.
Really? Well, tell that to the 12,000 members we have on Jaws 50.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I was going to say,
Exactly.
and speaking of which, so some of the things that people have posted,
That's
some
cool.
pretty cool and unique pieces.
That's nice. Yeah.
There we got the jean jacket there that Allison posted up. This is cool because this is like something personal. So Des, she grabbed some sand and some lady slippers. Those are the shells that are in there. When she was there where the pond scene was shot, and as mementos of when she got engaged there on the island. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, that's special.
Yeah,
I did that. I got engaged on the island.
I don't want to hear
yes, you
about
did.
it.
That's right. Yours was on video, if I remember
I
correctly.
know.
And you got married on the island, right, Janie?
I got married on the island, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. You guys have way deeper connections than me. I just coerced my family into going there for a day. That's how I got.
We're gonna get you a core memory. I guarantee it.
Core memory. Let me guess. I'm getting thrown off the bridge for my comments tonight. Is that right?
No. Now Jen may push you, but no.
There it is.
And there is the Jaws band.
Nice.
It is much cooler now. They've retouched up some stuff, and on the bottom picture, on the bottom part, he's got the Orca with the barrels trailing behind it, and he was talking about putting a mirror at the back bumper where you could see underneath the gas tank, and the gas tank was going to be like the shark's eye view of Chrissy kicking in the water.
Sweet.
You're kidding me. That would be man. That would be amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I can't wait. Another couple weeks, he's supposed to be able to take it out, enter it in some shows.
Nice.
There was a page dedicated to it. I'll have to see if that still exists. But yeah, so yeah, I just want to pull a couple things up here. There's someone has a replica of Chrissy's arm. That's pretty
Eddie.
cool right there.
That's Eddie McCormick. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's Robin with his favorite shirt with their little stuffed jaws there. Good connection. Love the Amy Island. Well, there's David, whose stepdad was responsible for working on Bruce. Pretty cool picture right there, sitting in Bruce's mouth. I like that.
That is cool.
That is cool. Yeah. Great piece of art there.
Oh, is that the Haunted Mansion?
No, it's
take on
the three of them. Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. If you look at the Haunted Mansion, it's the three guys that are in quicksand or something like that, and this is a take on that, but with Quint, Brody, and Cooper.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So these are just some of the things that people have been posting up. So some of these are just really cool looking, pieces or artifacts. Some of them are just really sentimental things and just things that people haven't enjoyed. So you don't have to have something that costs a lot of money or is super rare. It's just something that means a lot to you.
This means a lot to me.
Credit for having the deep poster. Yeah.
Yes, right? Yeah. So I wonder if that dog was one of the original stand-ins. What do you think? It was like a stunt dog for the movie?
It was the stunt dog. Yeah, there you go.
For Pippet. Yeah.
There's Kevin with I believe was that the McFarlane production right there?
Yeah, I think that's McFarlane. Yeah.
McFarlane, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's great right there.
I want one of those. I want one so bad.
They make inflatable ones.
I've seen those. I've seen runners in them.
Yeah, a couple years ago, I was driving to work and there was a new bakery that opened and they had two inflatable sharks. People dressed in inflatable sharks waving and stuff. So I had to stop and get a donut and take a picture with them.
Oh, look who this is.
I still love the story about Judy when she went to the Grammy. She had her original Jaws necklace on.
Jaws necklace.
16.
From the Jewelry collection.
The Jewelry, yeah. So there's a few things that people have posted up, and I want to say there's like 25 or 30 more things that have been entered in the contest.
Good God!
So
you go, guys.
So you guys at home, there's still a little bit of time. You got like a day left. So don't be afraid to post it up.
29 hours.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to post it on up there. So anyway, I just want to kind of pop that up here as we finish things up. And wanted to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight and checking out talking about the Orca here. Big important part. So
agreed.
Anyway. Yeah.
Agreed.
So okay. Well, thank you guys. Those of you at home, I apologize for the lack of comment involvement tonight. I also apologize for the lack of technical ability on my part. And I apologize to Janie and Mike for the horrible comments. Hopefully they'll forgive me. If not, that's why we're many states away. all joking aside, anytime I get on and we can hang out, it's always going to be a good night. Doesn't matter what
all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's exactly right. So.
And if not, you know what? Then just post it on the pages and they can see what we're talking about and they can enjoy it themselves.
Exactly. Yes.
So.
Yeah, and you guys at home, if you ever want to go back and catch us over, miss a show, hop over to YouTube, Mayor Vaughn Productions Live. They're all cataloged on there every single week. And get on to Jaws Live to catch the original first, I believe, 2 or 3 years with Jay and Mike. Some awesome stuff on there. Yeah. Janie, you're in a couple of those too.
I'm in a couple of them, yeah. So just kind of hop over there, subscribe, and you'll get notifications when we do our shows, and then you don't have to miss anything. So please, by all means, join.
Tons
Everybody that jumped on. Crystal again jumped on late. Welcome. Matt and Victor and Paul and Mark and Donna. And Sonia and I think Jamie hopped on. Yeah.
There you go.
Another full house.
There it is.
Yeah.
Appreciate you stopping by every week. We'll keep doing them as long as you keep watching.
There you go.
That's exactly right.
And continue to tell your friends about the Jaws 50 page. Like I said, we've added 1,600 people in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
I mean, that's pretty much proof and that this movie is not going away. It's not. It's been entertaining. It's been fulfilling. It's been inspiring for almost 50 years, and this proves it. So please, you know anybody that wants to join, come on over. We're a friendly bunch. We'll play nice.
We don't bite.
And we do it because we're a part of that gang as well. So it's a fun page along with Let's Talk Jaws Live. The more the merrier with us, obviously.
Yep. Don't be afraid to hop on and
No.
throw in your opinion or kind of share a little bit. And we're always looking for people who'd be interested in sharing some experiences and things here on the show. So if it's something you might be interested in, reach out to one of us. We'll put something
Always
together. We'd love to.
looking for suggestions.
Yep.
Yep.
Love to have some
Always.
suggestions and love to have people join in and share some of their own personal experiences because it's why we're all here in the first place.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
all right. Well, I believe that rounds it out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a big old fins up.
I can't do it.
We're
I only
gonna
got one.
call it. That's all right. You can just do what Suzanne did the other week. There you go. There you go. We'll take that. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful weekend. Now the summer's almost here, and we will catch you on the flip side.
There you go.
Have a good week.
Take
Have a
care.
good weekend.